Good.
All right, now we've got half a diamond made. Now you should be exactly 10 rows up and 20 stitches long. Now we're going to start our decrease. So to start a decrease, instead of chaining 3, we chain 2. 1, 2, and we turn. Now we don't go into the bottom of that chain, we go into the next one over because we're going to tie these two together. So that turns into 1 stitch. We're going to go all the way across. It's going to take a couple minutes. I'm not as fast as I used to be. And of course this is the whitest part of the diamond. So we'll be here just a couple minutes. A little bit more yarn. Now this does take a bit of practice to get these joins where you're comfortable doing them. I use some stitch markers once in a while because I know I've got to start this one exactly 10 rows up or 11 rows from the bottom. So stitch markers are really handy when you just start doing this. And you got to remember, you're just making a diamond and you're just attaching that last stitch. Now this is our row of 18, and if you remember when you make a diamond, that chain 3 gets attached to the last double crochet. So you should have 18 when you're done. So this isn't counted. So this one is. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 7. So these last two need to be attached. So we have 1 stitch left and the chain 3. Now that chain 3 is only attached on the row of 18. So there's 1, and we're going to attach to the top of that chain 3. Remember, it was chain 1, chain 2 is attached, and chain 3 is hanging there. We're going to try to get in there. It's tight. It's always tight. There we go. So now we've got just into that chain 3, so let's get it attached where the stitch marker is into this 10th row. Okay, so now let's attach it by pulling through, and then let's tie them stitches into 1. Now remember, I'm going to take this one out because it's in my way, and this one out. Now remember, we're just doing a decrease. So with a decrease, it's chain 2. So chain 1, I'm going to attach, since I only have one more chain, I'm going to attach it. Because you have to attach each row. So that's attached. And you turn. Okay, now remember, this is the bottom of that chain 2. And you can tell there's three little stitches all put together, 3 loops. So we skip that because we're going to decrease. Hope you can see this well. So now we're down to 1 stitch. And we're going to slowly and painstakingly work our way across while you wait for me to do this. We're just going to do a couple rows until we get to the top, and then I'll come back on and I'll show you how to do the top. Now if you like to do your attached stitch a different way, hey, go ahead and do it. I mean, this is not rocket science, like I've said. It's just whatever looks nicest to you. You're just attaching each one of these rows in as efficient way as you can. Normally I sit in my recliner and I do this with this on my lap. You don't have to sit at a table unless, you know, it's easier on your back. I like my recliner. So we get to the end. So we have 2 stitches, and then this was the attachment chain 2. So these last 2 stitches we have to attach together, not the chain 2. So we go in one, into the top of the other one, and we hook them together. So if we count, we should be at 16. This is not counted, that's not a stitch, that's your attachment. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 5, and 6, and then the attachment. We don't count. So chain 2 and turn. We're going to attach one more. Then I'm going to leave you to your own devices. Okay, remember, don't use the bottom stitch on that chain. Oops, I am locked up with yarn there. Hold it so you can see it. This yarn is not the friendliest yarn to work with. Probably won't be using it ever again, but it really is soft. And it does wash nice. Okay, I gotta just grab a hold of this at this point. Oops. Yep, that's okay. Need a little more yarn. Okay, we're in our last 2 again. There's one, here's our last one here. This was the chain 2, remember? If it doesn't look like a stitch, it's not a stitch. So here's our last stitch. Go to the top, pull up, and then we're going to attach oofta right here to that next row. Pull through 3, pull through 2, chain 1, chain 2, and turn. Okay, we're going to pause and we'll get back to you when we get to the top.